gentlemen, welcome once again to the No Sell Podcast. Or should I say, cheerio and top of the morning.
Let's go, Jesus! Jesus sucks!
Yeah, that happened. That was a thing that happened this weekend. Because the UK tournament for the WWE just kind of blew everything out of the water. We have a lot to talk about this week, so without any further ado, of course, we introduce ourselves. I am the voice of a generation, the Onitoshi Jeff Mack.
Once again, you're not. I have the award.
All that great fucking wrestling from the last 2 days and all the great performances, and you couldn't figure out a way to tie one of those into how, kind of like I'm the voice, like you always fucking do. You just come straight out with I'm the voice of the generation.
Which he's not. I have the award.
I'm sorry. The ace of No Sell Entertainment,
Whoa,
the
whoa,
Onitoshi
whoa,
Jeff Mack.
Last time I had to check, I'm the ace of the
No, you're the she of No Sell.
Forever ace!
No, you are not the Sheen. He is the Obi-Wan of Filet Mignon, Joe Lessel.
What?
Beautiful.
That movie.
Listen to the cue, Samurai Cop.
How many times do I have to tell you?
These two are just trying to get over the movie podcast.
I care about as much about our entertainment as I care about our fans, which is not.
And that's why he's the savior, Richard Marticelli.
I care about that spray tan the Miz is rocking.
I mean, oh yeah, that's pretty orange.
I was about to say, I expect you at the next level next week there with Human Wrestling Database, Corey Mack.
Tally ho, pip pip, cheerio, you smegheads.
There you go. And we will get into all of that wonderful UK tournament stuff later on.
The main event stuff.
Yes, exactly. We save the good stuff for last.
Take all my
Seriously
money.
though, we're only 2 weeks into the year, and this has already happened.
Yeah, right.
Wrestle Kingdom,
We
the
had
UK
Okada
tournament.
versus Omega and the UK tournament. We're 15 days into the year.
2017 basically has nowhere to go but down at this point, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to start on a kind of a down note.
They
But
peaked
a very,
and peaked early.
very interesting bit of news today. As the,
Interesting.
Well,
That's one way.
it's really conflicting for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which hot take are you gonna get first, the database or the savior there?
Well, I'm gonna go to you first, database, because a little more of the
Okay, I'll do the
here.
history. Yeah, fine. But
But today got word the passing of Superfly Jimmy Snuka at the age of 73 after a long battle with stomach cancer.
I think he's 73.
About to say, who actually knows?
To be determined.
So, Corey, of course, as you are the database, and we're the one old enough to really appreciate that time frame.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of it there, but I will admit I was never a huge Snuka fan.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit about Snuka.
Snuka made a name for himself in the 70s. He was one of the first. The body, first of all, he was like chiseled out of granite. And he was doing, the splashes off the top rope, the Superfly gimmick. Really revolutionary for his time. In the early 80s, he was the number one babyface in New York, even though Backlund was the world champ. Snuka was the babyface 82 onwards. The famous cage match with Morocco with the dive off the top that influenced what amounted to like 95% of the ECW locker room 10 years later. He was a legendary performer, but he had demons around that time. I'm sure Xavier will talk. He left the WWE, came back in the late 80s, kind of a shell of his former self, but still popular, still capable. And then, he's got a daughter who's not so good. But
About to say, last time we saw him in the ring was WrestleMania.
25?
Yeah, with
Jericho.
Was that the last time?
Yeah.
Date-wise, I know because he would show up on Raws every once in a while like Piper would.
But I don't know if he ever had a match again in the WWE that I can think of.
Yeah.
He might have done some independent things here and there, but...
You guys still talking about this? Who cares? What he did or what he was accused of doing means I don't care. I don't care about Benoit anymore.
Accused, Joe.
Accused.
I don't care about
Accused.
any of this shit.
Well,
Your
also-
demons make whatever you did
Hey,
dumb.
I'm not defending him, and to be perfectly honest, I will agree with you. I think he killed her. But that's, I think, because nobody knows for sure.
And he probably won't ever see a resolution now that he has passed.
With Benoit, we know he fucking did it.
So yeah.
That's the difference there. That's
I'm
the only
perfectly
difference.
alright never hearing anything about Snuka, Benoit, any people like that again. I don't care how great you were in the ring. You do shit like this, You're dead to me.
And you see, for
Well, they
me,
are.
it's a little different. I can separate
Yeah.
the outside and the in-ring work,
confused.
so as I've done with Benoit and some others. The thing is, I was never a big fan of Snuka in the ring to care as much as I did with what it was.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like we're really just shitting on a guy that died, but to be perfectly honest, I was never a huge Jimmy Snuka fan myself. I knew of what he was and what he meant, but I mean, to me,
I appreciated his popularity.
he was
and-
he was even a little before my time.
yeah.
So I was.
I mean,
so,
you got a lot of him in like the late '80s, early. I got a lot of the late '80s,
The
early
watered
90s
down,
stuff,
who
the
cares?
watered down stuff, and I don't think that helped the cause at all.
One of the weirdest thing to me with humans is, oh, someone died, it's so sad. They were a bad person. They were a bad person in life. They're still a bad person even if they died. I don't care.
I agree with you. That's why Michael Jackson, to me,
Still love the music.
the music's fine, but the guy was a terrible human. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, the thing, but also we do offer our condolences to the family,
Yes.
especially Tamina, who I mean, obviously it's her dad. I mean,
Hey man, you know.
yeah, you're about to say, and you know, a lot of the wrestlers that were close with him, obviously sharing their condolences today as well.
But I mean, if we have to go from one terrible thing to another. Let's talk about Raw.
Well, I mean, it was eventful. Things happened that were kind of important.
The main event,
Was
Wasn't-
not good. Was not good
but I mean, at least Roman doesn't have the title anymore.
until this Monday.
So let's just
Wait, is there
start.
another U.S. title match tomorrow?
I'm just assuming.
Most
plus,
likely.
Plus, as soon as he won it, I was like, oh, this is one of those 1 week title reign things where the guy wins it back. And
But that is kind of the big news of the week out of WWE television was Chris Jericho, new United States champion, getting the title off of Roman Reigns in a handicap match with him and best friend Kevin Owens.
and I have a much different spin on this than you guys will.
Okay. Well, first off, congratulations, Jericho, Grand Slam
Slam.
champion. Joining a very elite list. I think it's only 6 wrestlers that have won all
And
4
then
titles.
Miz is one of them.
Yeah, so,
Yes, he is.
so it's not super elite, but it used to be elite.
But still, it's a short class, and he has definitely classed up to join even more. Again, just another peg solidifying one of the greatest careers in wrestling history. The match was okay. I don't think anybody's going to call it a match of the year contender, especially not after this weekend.
Not
but
even close.
You
Even
get the
after
title
this
off of
weekend.
Roman, which obviously leads to a whole bunch of speculation for the Royal Rumble and his title match with Kevin Owens.
The Rumble's going to be really interesting to see where they go for Mania.
Well,
Because
it dawned on me today. There's potential for the 2 boo machines of John Cena and Roman Reigns to win main titles in the same night.
it could happen.
There's
Absolutely.
no way they'd be dumb enough to do that, though, right?
Oh, yes, it is.
But Vince.
I don't know, but because I'm hearing reports that, I'm staying away from Mania and Rumble cards. But, all I'm hearing is Vince has something huge in mind for Mania.
Well, it sounds like Taker Cena's off, thankfully.
It is.
It is.
There's actually a new thought process for Mania, which I am on board for.
Being.
They're not doing any of those like dream matches. It's 4 or 5 big time matches, but all the aging guys are not wrestling each other, but yet other people to try to
Trying to get
build
them
up.
over.
Try to build the company.
Now, having
try to-
said that, that doesn't mean that whoever fucking Taker wrestles, he won't fucking win. But the theory is put him in the ring with Taker at Mania, and they get a rub.
Please
that's
don't
the
do that to
that's the
Strowman.
theory.
Please don't do that to Strowman.
They actually interesting story on the Taker WrestleMania thing with Meltzer and his playing it close to the guard. He knows what the match is, but he's not telling anyone.
Bullshit. Meltzer's a lying piece of shit sometimes.
I'm about saying, there's... I forgot to bring this up last week, and I wanted to hit this really quick. One of those reviews I was reading about Wrestle Kingdom that gave it 2.5 stars basically said that Meltzer only gave it a high ranking because he's friends with Omega and that he's basically a sellout.
That's fine for him. I still thought it was the best match I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I'm about to say, it's one of those things like, I don't know why you're casting aspersions at Meltzer.
I don't see why that would affect the match itself.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
like it, you don't like it. That's fair. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah, but it's like,
You know, no one's is more valid than the others.
yeah.
I definitely don't agree with Meltzer that it's 6-star, oh my god, no one can ever touch it type territory, but...
But that being said, I also am not going to call him a sellout and that he sells his stuff and he's not trustworthy. The rest, I mean, that the other thing, of course, Taker being part of it. Undertaker, of course, announcing he's in the Rumble.
So is Undertaker Raw or is he SmackDown?
Oh, don't you remember? He's whoever he is, and nobody bosses him around.
Oh, okay.
But he bleeds blue.
Was anyone else super terrified when that got announced to actually think, oh my god, what if they let Taker win so they could get the Taker Cena match? I really had that fear for a little bit, but then all the reports started coming out. I'm like, oh, thank God they're not going to do it.
I by process, like I was trying to say, by process of elimination, I figured out the Mania match,
Oh, yeah.
and I won't say it yet, but it's interesting for Taker.
I think it's Braun Taker because
It's
of the
not.
fact it's not? Okay.
Sammy!
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine then.
Then why the hell did you show Taker?
It's an interesting idea, though. And,
I just want to hear, what is it?
It's Reigns.
Fine with me if he gets out of the fucking
But they're not
title
going to put
picture.
Roman over?
Really? You want... Okay, imagine WrestleMania, 50,000, 60,000 people, and you're going to have Reigns beat Taker?
I don't care.
You
If
think-
he's not in the title picture, I'm okay with that.
They did say that none of these matches are title matches.
Yeah.
I'm okay
With
with
the
that.
Taker and all that.
But I feel like at this time frame, Roman should go over.
I
would actually tend to agree with you on that as well.
I heard a long time ago from many sources. I don't just listen to Dave Meltzer, right? I'm all over the place. I'm scouring.
You are the database.
I have trusted people I look at and talk with. I was told a long time ago what the probable title match for Raw is at Mania, and I see nothing that's changed
Okay.
on that front. And that's what I've told you before. It's Zayn and Owens and possibly Balor if he's healthy.
It'll be a great...
Which would be
It's
fucking amazing.
and it'll be fourth from the bottom. Like
Yeah.
it's the Universal title match, but it'll be on the bottom part of the card.
Which I think is perfect for them.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, and he showed up at the UK tournament. And he-
Now, in all fairness, the SmackDown side, I have no fucking clue what the title match is gonna be on that side.
yeah.
it better be AJ. I mean, that's
I would hope so.
If like I said last week, if WWE wants to contend with Kingdom, AJ has to be the man in the ring. Doesn't mean he has to win.
I have this like horrifying gut feeling that AJ and Shane are wrestling in Mania. There's nothing to. I have no sources.
Yeah.
But I have this like gut feeling that that's what they're gonna do.
I hope you're wrong.
See the awkward tweet that came out today of Triple H wishing his brother-in-law happy birthday?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that was
awkward.
You could feel the insincerity coming
Yeah.
through. Proud
was
to call
Vince-
you a brother in and out of the ring.
Was Vince like on the phone with you making you do that?
Fucking do it, kid.
But way back to what we were talking about. I'm not big on the Jericho win.
No,
He
really.
doesn't need the U.S. title. It does nothing for him. It actually muddies that storyline. Would have made more sense for Owens to somehow fuck him out of it and take both belts.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I mean, you kind of gotta assume that it's gonna lead to this KO. Maybe who knows? Who knows what it's gonna be?
So, we had my favorite wrestler of all time on Raw this week,
Who?
Taker.
Oh, God.
Let's put your favorite wrestler of all time on Raw this week,
That was terrible.
Shawn fucking Michaels.
That was abysmally bad. That is... I cannot say enough bad things about the entire segment and everybody involved, except for Rusev, who's gold.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone assumed with Michael showing up, it's like, oh, they're gonna somehow try to continue the Triple H Rollins storyline.
Nope.
Because he's Triple H's best friend.
No,
Really?
I mean, I
Apparently
knew...
no.
I knew just from the time the movie came out, I knew it was just to plug the movie. That's
Yeah.
all it was.
But I mean, you could
And
still do something with that and further the Rollins storyline instead of some weird
Big cast gender match coming out of nowhere.
that leads to just a super kick.
And Jinder, by the way, like, is he not around when they do testing? Like, fuck.
He missed out.
He's part timer.
Oh my god.
Trying to think if there's anything else really worth talking about from Raw.
Stephanie berated another female.
Oh yeah, guess what that's leading towards?
It's the Daniel Bryan storyline. We talked about that last week.
No,
More
not
like
her.
SummerSlam a couple years ago.
No.
Like if you remember when Brie Bella wrestled Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Put Steph in the match
Yeah.
at Mania.
When Steph looked actually way better than Brie in that match.
She actually did well in that match.
So is she gonna look better than Sasha?
Oh God, no.
Oh yeah, she will.
Well, yeah.
because her job is on the line. Stephanie's gonna look great. Okay.
They
Yeah.
did the one thing we said they couldn't do to make the New Day storyline look interesting. Continue it. Which made me instantly not care.
I watched the Hulu version, so I have no idea what happened with the New Day at all.
He like picked up kegs and ran around the ring.
Remember the barrel challenge from NXT?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
They brought
had him
that
do
back.
They had him do that. Titus do it, but he dropped it in front of the line.
Wait a minute, you mean they continued the Titus thing?
Yeah.
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 The one thing we said, hey, this could be interesting if they just make other wrestlers. No, they kept it with
I
Titus.
thought for sure that'd be like a 1 week. Like,
And then
oh,
Kofi
man.
beat Titus in about 3 minutes.
The only thing is maybe this is gonna lead to some weird like Titus trio or something to face the new. I don't know. But it's not good.
Can't we just with all of the talent influxed into WWE the last 6 months from? Can't we just get rid of Titus? Just
You would assume he's probably near the top of the cut list for Mania.
You would hope so. But
Hey,
he's got pictures of somebody.
One
damn it.
good thing is was Sheamus and Gallows, mostly the Anderson and Sheamus, Anderson and Cesaro commentary.
Didn't
Constant
see
talk
that
of
either.
Japan.
So, so they're pulling the whole, they're huge in Japan. I don't know why they're not huge. But I just love Carl Anderson because Cesaro comes up to the announce table and he's like, hey, get down to the ringside. I'm on commentary this week. Last week you did it and I let you be by yourself. Get the hell down there, shut the hell up. No one wants to listen to you. It was pretty funny.
See, like I got to miss all of that, but had to suffer through the entire Shawn Michaels, Jinder, Enzo, and Cass.
Well, they really gotta push that movie.
Yeah.
Which is gonna do so great.
Man, Enzo and Cass just they had their only good run was with Cena since being called up.
I'm still high on Cass. I'm beginning to get really low on Enzo.
Vince is high on Cass. Enzo's hurt right now.
Well, yeah, he got hurt at a house show. Like he'd gotten healthy from the stupid butt bruise storyline, and they got hurt at a house show.
About to say, there's still I didn't hear if he was going to need surgery or not. I heard it was up in the air.
No
But I
one
mean,
knows.
he's gonna get that terrible moniker that Vince loves to give guys of being injury prone. When
He is very. I come to think of it, I think of all the times he was injured in NXT.
yeah, I mean
There were a
that
lot.
Yeah.
one of the reasons why they were down for so long was because he was constantly injured.
Actually, probably cost him getting the tag team titles a few times as well.
I'm glad that they were down there for that long though, because Cass needed to fill out. I remember when Cass first showed up on TV at that height, and he was like rail thin.
Yes.
Like it was like actually distracting. So I'm glad they were down there long enough for him to like fill out.
He also developed some sort of mic skills comparative to
Yeah.
when he really was just the badass Billy Gunn with the one line and that's it.
So, with that said, let's move on to Tuesday night and the Blue Brand. And let's see, what's a good line for this show? Lol Cena wins?
Yeah,
I have no problem with Cena winning. I had all the problem with how Cena won.
Exactly.
Please, pontificate.
I mean, all they've done for, what, half a decade at this point is the AA isn't that spectacular a move, and no one eats that and loses anymore.
In big
Except
time
for Rusev.
in big time matches, everybody kicks out of the AA the first time.
Hell,
This week, one and done.
AJ kicked out of a super AA, like,
Well, also,
half a year ago.
if you remember on TV, no one kicks out of the AA. No one on TV.
On TV. But, yeah.
it was a good match, too. And I thought it was going to be like an AA kick out, maybe followed by the STF, which, whatever, I could buy that.
But just a single AA.
I was most impressed with Corbin. I thought he looked really good.
He looked really good until that ending, which
yeah.
just was annoying.
I continue to be a fan of the Miz Ambrose storyline.
They've done a really good job with that. They're continuing the strong
I'm not
build
a
there.
fan of the inevitable mixed tag coming out of it, but I'm a fan of the feud.
I also didn't get why they had to make it a talk show. Like, why couldn't Ambrose just be out there as IC champ? Like, why did they start it off as a talk show?
I think it's because they're stuck in their fucking tropes that they've been using since 2002, and they're trying to get rid of some of them. but they're just
Well,
they
they're-
fall back on them.
Well, they're adding one this Tuesday. Rumor is that they're going to do the King's Court.
They are.
Well, they're bringing that
Well, they're in
back.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're
so-
gonna do the King's Court.
But
I
they're
mean, it's
gonna
not like
bring
it's a
that
new
back.
thing. Like, that's just a, like, when Piper
Yeah.
shows up occasionally and does a
Yeah.
Piper's Pit.
It's more like a 1 week only. Like, get the local. Yeah, exactly. He's become Piper now. They're in Memphis, so boom, it's time for King's Court.
We have the tag team title match.
I really like that match.
Let's say,
It was-
White's and Alpha
I don't know.
and
Further the
Harper
storyline.
screwing them over
So
for
we had-
them to retain.
Interested to see where they go with the whole Harper super kicking.
Here's
Bray
the
in
one,
the face.
Here's the one thing I like about this. I don't know if the storyline is Luke is fucking with them, or they're gonna kick him out for fucking up.
It's got to be that.
And I
right?
like the fact that I don't know where it's going yet. It's one of those, but you don't know which one it is yet.
The only thing I'm disappointed on is some rumors circulating now is that it is going to lead to a Bray versus Randy match at Mania. I'm like, no.
I just assumed that was gonna happen.
Too early. Keep this going for forever. It's awesome.
I saw the poster for Elimination Chamber, which looks to have the 6 guys in the chamber on it.
yeah.
Which it'll be a fucking great match.
Yeah, I was very interested to see that.
You got to assume that's for #1 contendership, right? Like, that's the way it's got to go.
Here's the crazy thing I heard. This cannot be legit. It's a SmackDown only show.
Yes.
They plan on having 2 chamber matches. One for the title, one for #1 contender.
How?
Is there 12 guys on SmackDown? And if so, what's the fuck the rest of the card gonna look like?
There's 3
17
matches.
women's matches?
Yeah, I'd say there's 3. There's legitimately 3 matches on that card. 2 chambers and a fucking women's match.
Although, to be fair, with how long SmackDown pay-per-views go, that makes sense.
For
Because the
the-
2 chambers would be 45, and then the women's match could be 15, and another women's match
For
could be
the
15.
#1 contender, you could have Apollo. I'm just trying to shoot names here. You can fill in
I mean, they have
Apollo-
guys, but it's guys who deserve it.
Ziggler,
Yeah, you
Miz?
like Apollo, Ziggler, Kalisto.
Kalisto,
Miz,
Miz.
Corbin? No, the
Corbin's the big one.
the
Yeah.
title
Title
one. What's his name who stole Matt Hardy's gimmick?
Fucking
The
Kurt
guy,
Hawkins.
the guy who's only been on TV like twice
Yeah.
since he debuted.
Maybe Mojo now that he's a singles guy.
There's your 6.
I mean, fuck. It's like-
What was
not a
Mojo's
great
thing
sit-
on, I didn't watch Talking Smack.
I didn't
What was
watch-
Mojo's thing on Talking
he
Smack?
is on his own now. That's it.
But he's still face, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's a single competitor now, not a tag team.
He should go heel and do something with Apollo.
I love how they like put him on Talking Smack to announce he's solo now.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's what he wants to do, but because his fucking partner's injured.
Yeah.
You didn't need to announce it. We fucking know you're on your own now.
Do something more interesting with that spot.
Now, one thing I could see is, of course, if you for filling out the #1 contenders one of the surprise entrants in the Rumble coming to SmackDown.
I mean, yeah,
fills out
they
that
could always
space.
do that too.
Or bring the cruiserweights in to SmackDown. They should have done the beginning.
Total fuck up.
So shall we talk about the utter stupidity that was the Carmella and whoever that bitch was match?
And Frank.
CJ Parker?
I don't know what was worse, that woman's gimmick or JBL on fucking commentary.
Just shitting on her the entire
What the
time.
hell is that?
Is that a dude?
Is it Maro? Is that your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad match.
I'm trying to come up with a name really
But
quick.
how are you gonna-
CJ Lund.
I mean, Carmella
Lundy.
is
London
probably
is
the
French.
least talented woman on both rosters at this point.
For Carmella?
I don't count Summer Rae because she's never on television. I don't think
Well,
she
she's
actually
hurt.
exists anymore.
She's hurt.
And
I think Carmella's better than Naomi.
see,
Because Naomi has gotten progressively worse.
they might be equal.
She's hurt
but it
too.
glows.
To me, Carmella is probably worse. But you can't put her in the ring with someone that untalented and expect her to look anywhere halfway decent.
And that's right, it was Lundy, because that's a shot at Arn Anderson. His real name's Marty Lundy.
Yeah.
So CJ Lundy.
CJ Lundy, that's right.
She couldn't even eat a back body drop correctly. In some way, Ellsworth was supposed to be fucking over the jobber.
He did. He
Grabbed
pulled
out
her
a boot that did nothing.
Yeah.
Whoa, how the mighty have fallen from an integral part of the world title storyline a month ago to Carmella's bitch.
Isn't that exactly where he should be, though?
Nah, he doesn't even deserve that, to be honest. But, not a bad spot for a guy of his talent level.
Yeah, not bad. I'd take it.
Man, is everything with the women that doesn't deal with Alexa Bliss just utter shit on SmackDown right now?
You're gonna lose your looks, and John is going to leave you, and you are going to die alone.
Jesus!
Shit.
Too far!
Yeah.
Too far!
And then in the back, Cena's pissed. Like, fuck, now it's out in the open. I got fucking nerves.
Cena's doing the Kane face of this pissed off.
I legitimately think this is totally all a work just to lead to the series finale of John
Total Bellas.
Yeah.
of John proposing to her. Like, are we really building to the season finale of Total Bellas? with all
Yes,
this
which will
shit?
be after the main event of WrestleMania.
It's either that or now Natalia's got like nuclear heat with John.
Uncle
Speaking
Brett
of
told me to do it.
Speaking of nuclear heat with Braun, fucking Ryback never wants to work in the E
Woo!
ever again.
John Cena's a cancer to this business
Can Ryback just shut the hell up?
because he held me and Alex Riley back. Hardly.
A-Rod couldn't get over in NXT.
No, he couldn't.
Oh, we're underselling it a little bit. Am I the only one who remembers that short period of 2011 where he was over?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He
was over.
Ricky still can't get enough of that theme song.
Say it to my face!
theme song's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, wasn't the thing that killed A-Rod's push more than anything beating Miz in their first rivalry, and everyone's like, I don't care anymore?
No, it was Cena. Cena killed it. That Royal Rumble spot, Cena never forgave him.
yeah.
Well, he did fuck that up pretty
Yeah.
bad.
And from that point on, Cena, I mean, like, just, yeah.
That's
Which, I mean, I don't know if I put that all on Cena. That was a huge spot you fucked up on a pay-per-view.
Second
Yeah.
biggest
And a
pay-per-views of the
story,
year.
and a storyline that had important ramifications.
To the point where you just randomly ran out and didn't...
To the point where the Miz had to run out in a business. Yeah, it was bad.
Well, especially when hey, where's A-Rod? I don't know.
Yeah, and the announcers, hey, where's Aaron?
Did he get eliminated?
No,
Like, that's not on my sheet.
No, he's hiding. Oh shit, he did.
Oh,
No
fuck.
offense, Ryback, but
Shut up.
you were more over with your stupid feed me more thing than any of your in-ring work.
It was very true. It was very true. But hey, he deserved that main event spot at WrestleMania.
Boy, he's fucking talking about blowing up a bridge. I mean,
Where does he even work now?
he works Wrestle Pro, which is a New Jersey like indie that works once a month.
Like, apparently
that his buddy and podcast partner owns and books.
because
Which I think he's
apparently
heavyweight champion.
he's so awesome, he can't even get booked by ROH, TNA, or in...
New Japan.
Because they,
Japan.
well, I heard a little bit of a interview with him. It's because he wants to control the merch rights for himself, and
The
he wants-
Indies is the place to do it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, you could sell out of the back of your car.
oh, that ought to piss him off even more. Or that makes sense for that one tweet then. Because you see the tweet he did about the people working out.
No,
Oh yeah.
You're a pussy if you're in this business and you don't get in the gym and build your body up like his to. So he's probably pissed at the Bucks because the Bucks, while not having his physique, control their fucking merch money and work wherever the fuck they want to work.
yes, they're also over as fuck.
Yeah.
Also, are we really going to put all of his physique down to simply working out in the
Oh
gym?
hell no. There's no. Hey, what are you trying to insinuate?
Yeah, man.
Obviously, he shoots steroids.
No, he doesn't shoot.
You're
he
just
gets
putting
used
it
to the
right
cream
out
of the
there, aren't
clear.
you?
I don't care. Come at me. Sue me, bro. My family probably has more money than you do anyways. Come at me.
Ooh.
Wow. And with those shots fired, let's
Can
go
we
with the
talk about
guy.
Aaron Rex for a minute?
Do we
Why?
have to?
And his wonderful gimmick that he tried multiple times for WWE to let him do.
What the fuck is that?
Thought we agreed we weren't talking about the bird till the bird went away.
The
No.
owl's never going away.
I just don't get that. It's
gimmick?
one of the gimmick. It's just that, hey WWE, hey Vince, I have an idea. I want to come out as Liberace.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
That is the gimmick.
2 months later, hey Vince, I got an idea. Let me come out as Liberace. No.
You're an idiot. Go away.
See, here's my
Hey, Vince,
thing about
remember
it.
WrestleMania 1?
Here's my thing about it. You come to TNA and you do your little interview. I'm here for wrestling. I'm not gonna shoot on those guys.
And I'm not going to be a
going
sports
to,
entertainer.
But I'm not
Here,
gonna
let
be-
me shoot for the next 10 minutes on those guys.
Exactly.
And that
And it's
will make
like,
you
I'm
sports
gonna
entertainment.
be a wrestler. I'm gonna be the champ. I'm gonna do this. 4 months later, hello!
He's terrible.
What the fuck?
All that goodwill that he had, like, oh man, they're God.
Yeah, he was in his first promo. He's like, I'm here to make a name. I'm going to show you guys why I'm the best wrestler in the world. Now he's Liberace 4 months later.
It's kind of not like the old days where guys who legitimately were uber talented get released from the E all the time. It's kind of guys who you think are uber talented go into the indies and you're like, oh, you're not that good.
Mr. 2.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Remember when everybody was drooling over Team Rhodes Scholars like 4 years ago?
Yeah, that sheen is gone. That being said, let's go to something that isn't completely awful. The Cruiserweight Wrestling in WWE. In the match,
Has a name.
205 Live.
In all fairness, he never watches it, so he doesn't know the name
Yeah.
of it.
He doesn't even know who's on it. No.
He is the Brian Alvarez of No Cell Entertainment.
You son of
He hosts every bit of it, but he doesn't watch a fucking second of any of it.
What is Brian Kendrick right now? Is he face? Is he heel? Or is he
He's heel.
just some weird guy who shows up?
He's a crusty heel.
I'll say him, and Shamaluda. He beat Shamaluda in about, 5 minutes? It was okay.
If that.
We had Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander.
Alicia Fox.
Do you love the fact they brought him on his back down just to say that line beforehand?
Yeah, it was awesome.
You can almost hear Vince in the background. God damn it, Paul, he said Fox on TV.
But that was a good match.
Yeah, Robbie, come on. Yeah.
And then you had the best moment of the entire weekend, hands down. Alicia Fox's blow up in the back that blew out the mic.
I feel like that's not the first time she's done that.
What,
Wasn't there a couple years ago?
Blew a mic?
Wasn't there a similar
Yeah.
freak out in the back where she did the same
Wasn't
thing?
it-
Wait,
Not
has
long
she
ago,
done
she-
that like 5 times?
Yeah.
She freaked out on Nia Jax, like,
Oh,
4
no.
months
It was
ago.
we're the
loco
one
when she poured
2 years
Coke
ago.
on you.
Yeah, poured Coke on herself and popcorn and...
Maybe she legitimately is just bipolar.
It's acting.
Could be.
And then you had your main event, Rich Swann and
Don't
Tony
forget the
Nese.
contract signing for the I Forfeit, man.
That was so good.
Right.
Holy shit, was that good.
I hope
not-
the Queen's not watching.
And not just Gallagher, Daivari was really good in it. I mean, I wish he'd get rid of the turban head thing, whatever they're called from the Middle East.
Oh, then he would just completely...
The jib jab?
He would completely just...
That was more offensive than what I said.
Son of a bitch.
Jesus.
Because when I think insensitive comments, I think Joseph Lessel.
Apparently.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I felt bad when I came out sounding like an asshole when I said it. Joe just went full on, I'm a racist.
So it's not called that?
No.
What?
But seriously, that was a great segment.
Thank you.
Also, I love that what pushed him over the edge was throwing Michael. or Matthew, or whatever the
Yeah.
umbrella's called.
I'm just happy that for once in 205's admittedly short history, that there was a new guy in the main event scene. Tony Nese.
Who should be in the main
I
event.
mean, it'd been Rich Swann, Kendrick, Perkins, and Neville the entire fucking time.
But now we get Nese in there, who deserves to be in that spot.
Oh, he's good.
TJP wasn't on it at all this week.
Nope.
I think that's like the first time
I'll
TJP
say-
hasn't been on it.
It's not going to be a bad thing to give him a little space.
What a fucking week for Neville, though. He was on Raw, he was on 205 Live, and then he was in Britain.
He's arguably one of the hottest commodities in that company right now. I mean, that heel turn. I'm struggling to go back and think of a heel turn or a face turn, either way, that has benefited the wrestler more in the last couple years.
It's kind of hard to say. Yeah.
Recently, yeah, nothing. Because he went from pure obscurity, maybe forming a tag team with Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
to main eventing an up-and-coming show on WWE Network.
And being just so fucking fresh.
Well, what I really liked was Rich Swann's mic work. Like, I hadn't really seen that side to him since coming to and that was really, really good.
Although whoever scripted the Dumbo comment, can we at least get into 2017?
Yeah.
Jesus
You
Christ.
You could tell that was a Vince comment.
From his childhood. Dumbo!
Also, one last thing on Neville. His new shirt is fucking awesome.
I've not seen the new shirt.
I recommend looking at it online. It is really, really nice. I really like what they did there. Before we get to the main event...
Can we talk about TNA for 1 minute?
Yes, let's.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Okay, we got two things
we
for
brought
you.
this up in our group text, or I did, about Josh Barnett
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So TNA is trying to do David Arquette 2.0.
No. David Arquette was a C-level actor. At least this guy's an athlete. He's a UFC fighter. Maybe not current, but he's a well-known UFC fighter. He did mixed martial arts in Japan. Just because you've never heard of him.
I've never heard of him. What? And he just go, and they go, okay, hey, we're giving you the TNA title for 2 minutes.
Well, maybe.
Isn't this all future stuff? That wasn't even on. Was this on TV this
No.
week?
I don't
Maybe.
care.
Why are we talking about future stuff? We don't
Because we
talk
don't talk about TNA.
The
Why
way
are we talking about TV at the moment?
Shut up!
Shut
The way
up!
they did it, they filmed it both ways so that they haven't actually made up their mind if he's champion.
Really?
They-
So wait.
they
They
did that-
decided to do both indies
Yeah,
and just.
they filmed it to where Lashley got the rematch and left with the belt, but they also filmed it also in the back with him with the belt. So depending on how they want to go.
So here's my question: is this Clue, or is this alternate universes, and we're gonna have branching alternate universe timelines in TNA?
If anybody watches Community, would this be the darkest timeline?
Damn.
I'll be honest, I don't hate that idea though, because then you can feel out how
Right?
the internet reacts and just put it out there.
Exactly.
I'll say they can use any idea they can get.
But I
want
I
alternate
agree with you
timelines.
that it's not the best idea. It's not David Arquette though.
Okay.
It's not like fucking some dude from Workaholics on Comedy Central winning the world title.
Oh, Adam Pac-Man Jones winning the tag title.
There you go.
There you
Okay.
go.
It's a little more legit than that too. It's at least a mixed martial artist
But
who.
okay,
And who has
I
done
think
wrestling in
it's,
Japan?
I just think it's dumb.
I think it's. I mean, I don't.
It's like
gonna work.
it's like if WWE put Ellsworth with a title.
I mean, he was in multiple title matches.
But no, but they
Yeah.
like they let him have a title, like the IC belt or somehow a tag belt. I think that'd be stupid as hell.
This was a company that the first time he debuted, they handed the IC belt to Santino Marella off of Umaga.
That's true.
This is true.
Yeah, but that was the hometown thing.
From Canada?
He's not from Italy!
Well, that's what they played it as.
And he was a Russian until the Friday before that Monday.
NXT really quickly. Well,
I mean, it's the first show back in Full Sail from the tour. They snuck in a DIY versus Revival match that I felt like I didn't know about till I was getting ready to watch NXT this week.
Not only that, but low key, this is 3 weeks in a row for DIY tag title matches on NXT.
Get wrecked, DIY.
but they do retain.
Then they built the Asuka storyline for the Fatal 4-Way at the San Antonio show.
Where she will murder everyone.
It was a good build. It was a way to make Asuka actually look a little weak and make you question, well, how is she going to do facing 3 separate people at once?
I mean, I didn't see NXT this week, so I'll have to watch it before I can really form my thoughts. But my initial thought is, I'm done with Asuka. Nothing against her. She's awesome in the ring. It's just this title reign has been, I mean, it's part circumstance.
Yeah.
A lot of the established NXT women got called away, and what she was left to work with was maybe not a fully formed women's roster or any credible threats. So, I mean, it's not her fault. But it's just, it's like, okay.
They changed it this week. That's what actually makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Because when I first heard the Fatal 4, I'm like, she's just going to shit all over him.
Yeah.
But they made the chick from Eric Young's group.
Nikki Cross.
She came out to make the save as Asuka was getting her ass kicked by Billie Kay and the other Australian bitch.
Peyton Royce.
She makes the save, runs them off, and then just drop kicks the shit out of Asuka. And it's like, I'm taking the belt anyways. So they built it in a way saying maybe Asuka can't overcome 3 women at once. So, but Peyton Royce and Billie Kay probably have no point in this match because, God, do they still look green.
They're definitely projects for the future, which is exactly what you're supposed to have in NXT.
They had a tag match.
They've been working for like 10 years.
Yeah, but still in that WWE style may not be catching
Oh, I
on.
mean,
Billie Kay looks like she has more talent. Peyton Royce, to me, doesn't, she does nothing for me.
here's the thing. I agree with you. Like, whenever Peyton Royce comes out, too, it's like, no fault of her own, but it just looks indie.
The way I,
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
the way you can put
indie.
it.
It's like,
the way I would kind of compare it is that she is the Dana Brooks to Billie Kay's Emma.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
can see that. Yeah.
Like, it almost feels like they're trying to push Peyton Royce more, but it's like, why? Look at what Billie Kay is. She probably can actually be something.
She's got like kind of like Charlotte. Billie Kay's got like she's kind of tall. She's got that length.
Very long.
She could do a really good big boot, kind of like Charlotte.
But she carries herself very elegantly, so it works. But Peyton Royce just,
Awkward,
yeah, she's clunky. It doesn't work.
clunky.
Shall
Kind
we
of like
get to
Joe's
the main
love
event?
life. Clunky.
Well, they also had rough. They had
Jeff's.
No,
Wait,
that's
Jeff had
non-existent. They had Knock into a backstage segment, and Jesus Christ, was that mailed in?
everything
on.
everything with Shinsuke is melded in.
I'll say you get the one match. Everything else we're okay.
I legitimately wouldn't be surprised if he's dropping the title to Bobby Roode so they could call him up to get him interested in something. Because I don't know what point he has down there anymore.
The name selling for the internet
I'll say-
for the touring NXT brand.
I'll say it's all ticket sales and merch sales there.
I was thinking their realization of a wrestling monopoly is slowly coming true. There were 5 touring WWE house shows this weekend,
Jesus, that's insane.
and they plan
the
on
tournament.
more. And they plan on no, that's
that's
one.
one. Okay.
They plan on more.
About to say, in the way it's going, everybody else is doubling down to try to protect themselves. I don't know if it's going to do any good. But let's get to the big talk this week.
Ring of Honor?
No.
No, okay.
WCPW?
Some of their guys were there.
I mean, Rev Pro, I think, had a pay-per-view this weekend.
Did they?
I think, because Balor and Tommy End showed up at it, apparently.
That could be.
Like Rev Pro 42 or something.
I need to see this now.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
the WWE United Kingdom Championship Tournament. Well, this went well.
Holy shit, was it good.
16-man tournament over 2 days. Saturday we had the first round matches. Everything else happening on Sunday. We have all had a chance to watch this now, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, never film a tournament like you did the CWC again. Worked way better this way.
This 2-day tournament side really came off good. The crowd was a big help. Commentary was absolutely superb, actually.
You mean McGuinness was superb.
No, I'm talking about Michael Cole.
What?
Michael Cole was fucking good.
I'm confused.
I would like to say anybody say otherwise.
I think it's a combination of 2 things. Vince not screaming in his fucking ear, and 2, I just really think that he found a commentator he meshes really fucking well with.
You're
Oh,
saying
yeah.
it's hard to talk constantly on live television while someone's yelling in your ear the whole time?
Yeah.
Slightly.
Who would have thought?
The venue was absolutely gorgeous.
I love the
I loved
Impulse
it.
Ballroom.
To me, it felt like a 1993 Monday Night Raw.
Right? But it looked so cool.
Yeah.
About to say, even led me to think of some of the like ROH house shows in like the Hammerstein or something like that, where you got that better architecture around, but man, the crowd was live the entire time.
It solidified an opinion of mine too. And I think this is why the last couple of years I've been a little lower on WrestleMania than I used to be. Is I would just prefer to watch wrestling in like venues like this than like the big gigantic fucking domes.
Well, and it made, and Joe and I talked about this, it's WWE events seem so quiet compared to when you watch the 90s. Is because, one, they're in much bigger arenas than they used to be. They're in like almost double the size that they used to try to fill. And it's just, you get a different crowd now. You don't get the drunk rednecks who scream for everything anymore. It's much more a family crowd that's not going to have the type of yelling and let's go Jesus sucks chants you got in Blackpool.
I was like, you got this rabid fan base packed into a smaller venue, right on top of the action, and it just came off perfectly.
And a super smart crowd. They cheered who they should, they booed who they should, it worked. It made the problem.
Except for one guy. Except for one guy. Things kind of got a little wonky when Jordan Devlin came out. He was supposed to be a babyface.
No.
But they flipped it so well,
They
so
did.
quickly.
Yeah.
I still don't know if that spot from Saturday went the way it was supposed to or not, or if they played it off really well.
I think they saw a lot of blood and thought he's going to get a 3 count no matter what. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Because he obviously kicked out.
But then to play it off that smoothly,
It was
even
it was a clean win.
that's Mike's segment. Go, I beat him clean. It was awesome. I'm like, Either that was really well planned ahead of time, or Jesus Christ, you're running with this really well.
I think
running with it very well.
The match that completely caught me off guard day one was Wolfgang versus T-Bone.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting that.
Holy shit, that was a good match.
I really thought that T-Bone guy was going to be shit.
I've seen T-Bone. He's actually a lot better than what we saw there, and I thought he was pretty good there. And I've only seen Wolfgang like once, and I didn't even remember seeing him. So this was the match on day one where I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess they're putting them together. That'll make sense.
My question to you, Corey,
Yes.
is prior to this, you're like, oh, I don't know a whole lot of these guys. How many did you know of these 16 guys?
Well, of the final 16, because they ended up changing a couple guys out.
Yeah.
Originally, there were like 6 or 7 I had not seen.
Okay.
By the time the show started yesterday, there was only 4, I think. I hadn't seen Dan Maloney. I hadn't seen Tucker.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen H.C. Dyer.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen... There was another one. Plus, and I count Wolfgang. I saw him... Oh, yeah. Who was the other guy? Saxon Huxley.
Saxon Huxley, okay.
I had not seen them.
So nobody
I'd
that
seen
really,
everyone else.
but nobody that really mattered after the first day,
No, they added Danny Burch...
which was a smart play.
And Andrews were the 2 main ones they added.
And those
Two
were
smart plays.
really smart plays.
Yeah.
But when we got, and then the main event on day one was an absolute treat.
Well, they sure picked it well, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Tucker?
Because at first I was
wow.
like, man, I've never heard of this Tucker, and I've watched Bait. I knew he was good. I was like, wow, they put that on last? Okay. But fuck, they delivered.
They delivered huge, and I'm about to say, if you take out the guy from that faced Dunn in the second round,
The bald-headed
bald
guy?
Gradwell.
Sam Gradwell.
Gradwell.
yeah.
You take him out and replace him with Tucker. Basically, those are 8 guys you could sign right now to the WWE and have no problems.
Well, they had to get a Blackpool boy in there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that makes sense.
But I'm just saying, I had 7 of the 8 guys who made it to the second round. I think are right now perfect for WWE.
But see what they did there? And again, I say, who booked this? It was so perfectly booked. Because they had to get the local Blackpool boy into the second round, right? However, they knew he wasn't maybe up to par with some of the other guys. So what they do is they do the Pete Dunne thing with him to add some juice to that match.
Which that was brilliantly
Right?
played.
I mean,
The attack afterwards, doing the .com exclusive with oh man, Regal. I was hoping Regal was gonna punch the kid. I'm not gonna lie. Triple H coming in, well, you made a name for yourself.
I love Triple H's character nowadays, where he's just this uber badass legend, which is what he is.
except for on Raw,
Yeah, that's
where
gonna be-
he's alternate, like he's
His
an uber,
NXT
Yeah.
non-outside Raw persona.
his non-outside Raw is awesome, but the Raw it's the same old shit from like 12 years ago. It's
It
like,
almost
all
makes
right.
me wish that outside when he's doing NXT and stuff like that was Paul Levesque, because that's a different character
Right?
than
Because it's
Triple
like-
H on TV.
And it's so jarring when you have this like cool badass character here, and then Monday he'll show up and be like, "I am the game, Rollins. You don't know what you're doing."
Well, it's because you know who books Raw.
Exactly.
Exactly. But no, that was beautifully played going into the second day. And then the second day
Holy shit.
just turns to pure magic.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. I had seen the majority of these guys. I am a well-known United Kingdom wrestling fan. You know this going way back.
Very much so.
You three. I want to ask Joe, you first.
Okay.
Off of day one, who impressed you the most? Who were you like, holy fuck?
People that I was truly impressed by: Mark Andrews, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
Like those 4 guys, like I went, holy shit, and Joseph Connors. But all like those, like the first 4, I was like, WWE should be signing these guys.
Well, I think they're going to sign Connors. Cole was all over him fucking the whole fucking 2 days.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
aren't most of them signed
They're-
now?
They're signed to what are called loose contracts.
I mean, the agreement is that they can work Rev Pro and what the
You
other.
can,
Progress.
you can pretty much
Progress
work
and
anywhere except for WCPW.
But you can't
And-
work things where you're gonna have like pay-per-views. Like they can't work pay-per-views basically.
But yeah.
Which is why because WCPW came out and they're like, look, we're not mad about any of this. We are so happy for all these guys to get this opportunity. They could work WCPW, but they can't work TVs that lead to iPay-per-views, and they're like, well, what's the point for us then?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Our entire gimmick is storyline building that leads to iPay-per-views,
Yeah.
so we're not going to work with them.
It made all the sense in the world. They're kind of loose contracts. They are under contract, but it's more like a WWE has first right of refusal contract.
They
right?
got dibs.
Because I'm guessing this is going to kind of work with how like CWC worked. It's let's see how it goes, and we'll see what decisions we make. Make a touring UK show right now today, because that thing was amazing, and strike while the iron is hot.
Who impressed you, Rick?
Connors, loved Connors the entire time. Someone who didn't continue and went on was Johnson, who went up against Pete Dunne in the
Roy
first
Johnson?
round. Yeah.
The body guy.
Dude, fucking those lifts he just pulled out of nowhere, it's like, Jesus.
That's the best I've ever seen him look. He plays a
Man.
real comedy character in progress.
Well, yeah, because he's got that sway
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I could do without the rapping segment they showed with him, though. But
Yeah, that's his whole...
I was very down on Gladwell after the first day. Was very impressed with him in the Pete Dunne match. So I'm thinking more it had to do with the fact he was wrestling Cat Jesus or whatever he goes by.
Yeah.
What, that was cat muscle?
'Cause that
muscle
was-
cat?
That was the only match I would say in the entire weekend that was below average.
Yeah.
Everything else to me was 3 to above.
Sad.
Day one. Who? I really wanted to get your guys' ideas. Who are you guys like going, oh, okay, there is talent here.
So for me, if I was looking at the first day, obviously Dunn just leaps off the page. Bate is just absolutely ridiculous. Wolfgang was a complete shock to me.
He came out of nowhere for everyone.
And then, of course, Trent Seven. If I wasn't just yelling Rainmaker when he hits the 7-star lariat. But no, those were the guys for me. And Andrews was good, but I put him like that second tier.
Fucking Andrews. I have a rant about Andrews.
I'll be honest, I kind of fell in love with Devlin with that whole segment and how they played it off. I loved the super
He
kick
did good.
afterwards.
He did good.
I loved all of his character work. His in-ring work was a little rough, but his character work, which is what I love the most, was so good.
No, he was. Yeah, no, he really impressed going out of that. And because at first I was like, ooh, how's he gonna? They built up the Finn Balor thing so much. He was supposed to be a favorite.
Well,
Yeah.
and the way that he dealt with he was getting chance of like your shit Finn Balor like in the match and turned it into something. That's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. But no, that's my 4 guys that I would definitely say.
And the thing with Devlin was how he played what happened in the first round into causing his loss in the second round. Like looking, it's like, hey, he's bleeding. Fucking count him out.
I loved. See, I went the other way on that, but I like your thought process there. I went the other way. I thought, man, for a 19-year-old, fucking Bate, so smart with the covering his head, like you can't see if I'm bleeding or not, and then finally like, I'm not.
You know, I mean, obviously Bate, like, and I mean, most of the reason Bate looked so good in this was because they were building him to look so
Yeah.
good in this. But
The kid's also fucking talented as hell.
I see. Like I didn't know he was this good. Honestly, all I've seen him in is tag teams. Him and Trent Seven, Mustache Mountain. That's
Yeah.
That's how I'm familiar with him. I knew he was good, but I knew he was young. I didn't know he was this good.
do you think Rev Pro watched the tournament and was like, all of our great guys are leaving?
They should probably call Gabe Sapolsky right now, see how he likes. Because after last week, they fucking raided Evolve, and now they're gonna raid the British Indies.
And the thing I will give to the E, and I'm sure was part of the agreement to be able to use their guys, was the fact that they talked about the Indies the entire time. They talked about Rev Pro. They talked about, I think it was ICW. Or
ICW. out of
They even
Scotland.
the heads of those companies were even at the show and got shown on television.
Like, I'm sure it was part of the agreement to make this happen, but it still was a nice touch to the whole thing.
It won't be so nice to them if WWE decides to go touring and just takes these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That won't be so nice.
I almost wonder if they're going to just, like, step in and be like, can we just, like, brand it as ours and just buy your stuff now? Because, I mean, you got to assume if Triple H shows up with a check with a good enough number, they're going to be like, fucking, okay.
Everything's for sale.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a good enough number.
But let's go ahead and Corey, who are the guys? If you had to have your top guys that jumped off the page for you after day one,
After watching day one, Joseph Connors was really good in his match. I love that fucking elbow into the knee.
oh, that was beauty.
God damn. I liked him. I'm an unabashed Pete Dunne guy. Have been for like a year. So he really stepped it up this weekend.
And that finisher, each match got better.
Well, and the thing about Pete Dunne was that he wasn't always winning with his finisher.
Nope.
That's the thing I hate, and that was one of the things that about Bate that drew me back was every single match ended the same way. Pete Dunne's matches ended very differently in a lot of ways, and I really appreciated that.
Pretty impressive though when he hit Tyler Driver 97 on Wolfgang.
That was a beast.
But
Also, if Wolfgang really did break his nose in that match against Tyler 7, holy shit, big ups for then wrestling that next match.
full disclosure, Wolfgang on day one really impressed me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because I was like, who? What? Really?
And actually,
by the end of the match, I was like, fuck, this guy's pretty damn
That's like,
good.
and T-Bone even impressed me in that match as well.
Yeah.
They're both really good in that match.
Goddamn gypsies.
But we get to day 2.
I thought during T-Bone's promo, I thought I was watching Snatch.
It had a little bit of that feel.
I was so confused when he first walked out for the match, though. He's fully dressed. I'm like, is he gonna like back out of the match? What's going on?
We get to day 2. Quarterfinals. Is there a bad match here? I don't think
This
so.
entire, this 2 hours and 15 minutes is some, I mean, that's a top-notch fucking
It
show.
was easy watching.
Literally, day 2 was each match like, well, they can't do better than that match. Then the next match was better.
Of the 4 quarterfinal matches, Joe, what was your favorite?
Damn.
Because you had Dunn and Gradwell, Andrews and Connors,
4.
Wolfgang 7, Bate and Devlin.
Who's Andrews?
Andrews took on Joseph Connors.
I'm going to say that one's
That
my
one.
favorite.
Yeah, that was the best. It's that Wolfgang 7.
I
match
went
was
Wolfgang
really
and 7. And also, I
Wolfgang 7's 2.
I mean,
I also really like the Bate Devlin. I mean, they're on
He did
4
a
match.
fucking moonsault from the barrier. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And what, 255?
Yep.
Yeah. That was impressive as fuck.
Wolfgang is to me who's someone who could show up on Raw tomorrow. Because
He's got the
Pete-
size.
Pete Dunne, as great as he is, I mean, he's going to show up and stand next to Roman and KO. And
No, put him on 205 Live and it's
I
a
mean, he'll be
different story.
great there, yeah.
Oh, man. Him versus Tony Nese on 205 Live.
But I mean, if like he's not someone who could show up on Raw or SmackDown and kind of keep doing the same gimmick because it wouldn't work against the bigger guys. Wolfgang could show up on Raw tomorrow and make it work.
Yeah.
And while we're talking 205 Live, let's be honest, Mark Andrews could show up this week.
Oh, he needs to
Fit
be
in like a
on.
fucking glove.
He needs to be on 205 Live next week.
And here's where my special rant comes in. 2 days. 2 fucking days. And Mark Andrews is this over. Looks this good. He was in TNA for 2 years.
Yep.
We talked about
Really?
this. Jeff and I know the age. I think you probably know his age too.
Yeah.
Rick, take an age count guess on Mark Andrews.
I believe we talked. He's 19 too, isn't he?
No, he's 24.
Oh, close.
But still, he looks like he could be in, later 20s, early 30s.
Or as I like to call him, Evan Bourne without all the weed.
Yes. And his
Dix-
own band.
Dixie Carter's bright idea was to give him a skateboard and a backwards hat and tell him to be Bart Simpson.
He kept the backwards hat though.
Yes.
But Bart Simpson, that's the character. And
2 fucking years they had to put him over.
2 fucking years, he didn't do anything in TNA like this. And they have an X division.
You're
Yeah.
talking about the company that didn't use the Young Bucks correctly. Are you that surprised?
Well, we're also talking about a company that signed an Evolve guy last May, and he is yet to debut on TV or even show up in the Impact Zone.
Which one was that?
Caleb Conley.
I'm not familiar with him.
He's not one of the biggest stars, but that's the one guy they actually got from that whole raid.
why does anyone ever sign with TNA if you're not like an ex-WWE guy?
We're 9 months in. He hasn't even shown up at the building yet.
Fucking A.
And
To
it's
be
not.
fair,
Is he waiting for the 1 year to end so he can go sign with
I
WWE?
got news for you. It's not because he doesn't want to show up. They're so fucking stupid. They signed him, and they're just leaving him at home.
to be honest, the building's only been open about 3 of those 9
You're
months
right.
because of foreclosures.
He just showed up back on Portland Wrestling this week on YouTube.
Oh, did he?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. That's
yeah,
awesome.
he's back in the WCWC. Getting paid TNA money to work a fucking Portland independent.
So we get on with the quarterfinals.
Yes.
Okay. Breathe. Semifinals.
I could have used a breaker match before the semifinals. Like, they had the breaker match between the semis and the finals. I could have used a breaker match here because, holy shit, there was a lot of paying attention to stuff for a very long time.
No, 'cause
I know what you were looking for. You were looking for another Saxon Huxley.
yeah.
No, we get Pete Dunne versus Mark Andrews.
To me, the match of the weekend.
That's the debate.
That is the debate.
That's the debate me and Jeff have been having.
Between that and the main event.
Yes, it's between those two.
And I agree with you.
Yeah, I had Andrews and Dunn as the match of the weekend.
See, I go with the last one because it has more story.
And it was
And it does. It's,
really
and
well
it's
done.
like right there.
Oh yeah, it's 1A, 1B type
Yeah.
thing. But no, this match was just fucking great. The other semifinal, Dunn goes over Andrews in just a
The
miraculous style.
reversals in this match were just insane. Like, the back and forth was so crazy.
And that, man, could you have made that finisher look any better? Make Dunn's finisher look any better?
Oh, no.
Oh, man, he just flew into that thing, but still gets the win. Dunn gets the win. Bates and Wolfgang, not a bad match. It's
No.
not the same, as good as the other semifinal match, but it's a good match. And again, watching Bates hit Tyler Driver 97 on Wolfgang was a sight.
One thing I love about Tyler Driver 97 is the pin.
The fact that he stacks it up.
He stacks them up and he has the legs over the arms.
It's the proper way to have
And
that
not once did I see him go like this.
pin. Exactly. Shaka bra.
Speaking of pins, that was one of the things I loved about Nigel McGuinness the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Was pointing out, hey, well, this is kind of why he didn't get the pin here. He didn't put the arm across the
didn't
shoulders.
put any pressure on the shoulder.
No
What
pressure
the hell
on
were you
the
expecting?
no pressure on the pin. He wasted too much time. Mm-hmm. He didn't put the leg up.
Because he was pointing it out, especially on day 2, when Andrews goes for the moonsault, the standing moonsault, and he does the lift of the crowd to get him up. It's like, you're wasting time.
Yeah.
Of course, but then again in the Dunn match, he turned it into a 450 fucking double.
That was fucking insane.
I literally texted Joe a second later going, what the fuck was that?
450
That was awesome.
My
450
response,
standing
I
sentinel.
don't know. It was I was like, I marked down. Holy shit! What was that? And then I marked down again when I saw it with Jeff.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, it's like, is that a reverse 450 senton?
Yes, it was.
The fuck are you doing? So, we are going into the finals. Bate wins his match. Dunn comes out. Rex Bates throws him into the corner to wreck his shoulder.
Okay, and I love this, but let's ask a serious question. Over the weekend, Pete Dunne was already made like the fucking most.
$1 million.
No, he was made the most legitimate heel in the fucking company.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. He went from, because he was getting, even at the beginning of the second day, he's over as fuck with that crowd.
Oh yeah, they're chanting bruiserweight against the hometown guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get to that final match, it's straight boos,
Yep.
which is brilliant. They did great with that.
How he acted this weekend is exactly how Kevin Owens' character should be every Monday.
Exactly. It's what his character was going into him
Yeah.
having the title. But no, we get this other shit.
But that's beside the point. Pete Dunne was fucking
So,
awesome.
And
we're
all,
gonna...
that,
Yeah.
all that interaction with Regal, though. Regal running him off, he's just like, that cowering under Regal's like,
I'll say you spent your entire life watching videotapes probably of Regal beating the shit out of people.
I mean, the color of his tights, as Nigel McGuinness expertly pointed out on the show, is not a mistake.
No.
And it's funny, you can go even further with William Regal. There's the two parts of William Regal, the technical wrestler and the villain.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan represents the technical wrestler and Pete Dunne represents the villain. Both parts of William Regal.
Oh my goodness, if I ever could have gotten that match.
And that's why, the red was for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, exactly. If I could have ever seen
Who got it
Pete,
from?
Yeah, from William Regal.
Yeah.
If I could have ever seen Pete Dunne versus Daniel Bryan, whew, that would have been a match. But anyways,
Well, and a small touch I really liked was that it wasn't, they cut back before Dunn attacked. Like,
Yeah.
that type of small touch where he's celebrating, okay, let's show replays. Oh my god, what's going on? Cut back to the actual action. That's such a small touch that they don't do on Raw and SmackDown. That was so beautifully done all weekend with this shit.
absolutely. Now, we get a little break here in the action. Before we get to our finals, and out comes Neville.
to a monster pop.
Can we call him Adrian Neville again? Everyone else got all their names back. Why can't Neville get his name
He
back?
actually is one of the ones that requested to go to one name
Oh, really?
because everybody was confusing him with noted R&B singer
Aaron Neville.
To which he said, "Can I just be Neville?"
About to say, it worked out well for him and Cesaro.
Yes.
And I loved his heel character, again, is a revelation.
And that's one guy I didn't see it coming from.
I should already have this title by forfeit. I am the best wrestler ever in the history of the United Kingdom.
Well, in the lead up to is once again, I'm forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Why was I not in this? Just like I wasn't in that.
So freaking good. And, wait, he's going to have a match.
Say what?
Okay, so who are they going to bring out for this one? Who can you get to just get this crowd over?
Tommy fucking End.
Yes, Tommy End comes out, and the crowd goes absolutely nuclear.
I was like, oh shit, Tommy End is here.
The only weird thing about it is he's literally the only guy the entire weekend that's not from the UK.
Yeah, from
The Netherlands is oddly considered adjacent to the...
and he has been part of the British wrestling scene for the better part of 15 years.
It's odd. Yeah, geographically, you're correct in your wonderment and bemusement. I am not denying that. But in terms of wrestling territories, for some reason they always just bunch it in. He's considered a UK wrestler,
Weird.
even though he's from the Netherlands. But it's because there's not a big European scene.
I'll say the biggest European scene is Britain. They just kind of all funnel in there. This match was, again, interesting. I hadn't seen a lot of Tommy End. I've only seen clips here and there. I don't know if either of you guys had watched any Tommy End before this.
Tommy something Black End.
Alistair.
Alistair Black. Which is a cool ass name.
I mean, and I understand why he had to come out as Tommy into this to one, get the pop with the local crowd, and two, because you actually haven't shown him on WWE television with the new name yet.
Right. Plus, I just wanted to get it did my heart good to hear the Tommy fucking Ends chant. So
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. The match is good. I thought he was going to clip his legs against the barricade when he did that fucking moonsault. Which Nigel we pointed out 30 seconds later. God, Neville again is just pushed his game to another level.
So that was the other big debut of night 2. So initial thoughts on Tommy End?
That was good. I was a little confused on what type of character he was going to be. Because I feel like when he hits NXT, he's going to be a heel.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Burn it down to the ground.
So it's one of those, like, okay, he's on this for pop and face, but he's facing the heel Neville.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works, but it seems weird to me that he's going to debut that type of character when you already have Sanity existing.
Right.
But
Yeah, it seems like that's going to collide against each other quite a
Maybe
bit.
he can just reform the tag team with Cassius Ohno of Heroes Eventually Die. That was a great team.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Plus, that would be some of the best striking you'll ever see.
Yes.
And that was the thing with, oh my goodness, the combination he threw towards the end of that match was absolutely brilliant.
I was trying to figure out who they were going to bring out here. I knew Neville. I knew as soon as he started talking that it was a music is going to hit moment.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out who it could be.
I thought it was going to be Gallagher.
I thought it was going to be Sabre Jr., like just for a one-off.
I would have had no problem with that.
I was trying to think, okay, so which British guy is going to show up? I mean, safe bet going with a guy under contract, so I get why they did it. And it was a cool moment, and I liked the match, so nothing to bitch about. And good little breather before you got to the main event.
Is it?
Pretty perfect breaker match.
Yeah.
Before the main event, Finn Balor came out to just get a pop and put over the crowd.
Kind of big seeing him in no sling, though. That's important for
Doing
how bad
the
shoulder
arm
blowout.
movements, popping the crowd.
Pretty goddamn over.
Slightly over at that crowd.
He's like a fucking European British wrestling guy god.
Yeah,
at the
pretty
moment.
much.
So yeah.
Yeah, kind of over.
I hope he makes it back at Mania, but at the same time, if it's not 100%, then I don't want him to come back at Mania.
there's no reason to rush it.
Yeah, I'd rather him sit out and do either come back a month later if it means 100%.
Every report, though, is that he's so far ahead of schedule.
Yeah, Cena-like, I've heard.
I think that stem cell treatment that he had on the shoulder, if this proves to be successful, could be very revolutionary to how we see injury times go in the WWE.
I'm still holding out just that little bit of hope that he's going to be a surprise pop at the Rumble.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. I don't want him to rush anything.
Well, but see, the Rumble's the perfect way to do it, though, because you can hella protect yourself at the Rumble.
This is very true.
Which I want to say, we're still, 2 weeks away now?
Yes.
Yes.
We still don't know a winner. Like, there's no specific winner, because the past 8 years we've known by...
Well, my dark horse candidate of Jimmy Snuka is not going to win.
Oh.
To be fair, a lot of the protection of that is we still don't have any concrete clue of what any of the fucking main title matches are going to be at this point. Like, there's the possibility for Zayn, KO, and
Balor, question mark.
But there's, like...
The SmackDown one's wide fucking
Yeah.
open. Nobody knows.
Well, I mean, the last 5 years going into it, you knew it was going to be one, maybe two guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
No fucking idea. It could be Braun. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Goldberg.
They have so much talent right now. I mean, as evidenced by this weekend. I mean, they're literally gobbling up every bit of talent anywhere. And another question I wanted to bring to you guys before we finish the UK talk.
Yes.
Is this good or bad for wrestling?
I think it's good for e-wrestling.
Well, that's not what I asked. The last time they gobbled up as much talent as they could, it took the business almost 15 years to recover.
The one difference, I would say, in it is that it doesn't feel like they're gobbling it all up to put on Raw and SmackDown.
That's true.
They're gobbling it up to almost build their own territories.
Oh, they've got territories now. They're like, okay, British wrestling is hot. We're going to have a British company. Fuck you guys. There's already talks of trying to do an Asian title and a South American title.
Which I'm going to get into about redefining the titles right after we finish this UK
Yeah.
talk. Because I actually love the idea and feel like it's a way to rebuild the Intercontinental title into something of pure prestige.
I'm really looking forward to this.
So let's
But-
talk about the final.
Yeah. Before we get there, we got to finish up the tournament that happened.
So it's all Pete Dunne, right?
Pete Dunne comes out first. And so here I love the fuck out of this. So Pete Dunne comes out. You have the announcer, the ref, and William Regal's in the ring with the title.
Holding that beautiful, beautiful championship
So
belt.
fucking
The more I
beautiful.
saw it, the more I was like, this is so much better than anything in the E by
Yeah.
far.
And as soon as Pete Dunne reaches the ring, Regal, eyes locked on him. And for the next 3 minutes as we get intros and introductions, Regal's eyes never leave Dunne.
Well, and it's the thing you continue to see from NXT booking from Triple H is the championship matches, the things that are the big fights, get that big fight feel. Darkening it out and just lighting the ring
Love it.
has such a... I mean, and they did it on NXT this week with just
Yep.
the tag team match. It has such an effect of this matters so much more than anything else.
It really does.
That alone got me hyped before they even started doing the intros.
I feel like right now in early 2017, the wrestling business is figuring out what works. It's like the new style of wrestling, because wrestling evolves. There's no way it can go back, and it shouldn't go back.
No.
But the style that is now with the mindset and presentation of old school is like melding together to make what is a pretty badass fucking.
It just works.
Product.
It's evolving into a good place, I feel. And then you have the title, you have him present it, and then even as Regal's leaving the ring, he never takes his eyes off Dunne.
And let's just take a minute to talk about Tyler Bates' sweet, sexy ass Peter Gabriel sledgehammer ripoff thing.
Thank you, you realized it.
I mean, my God. I
That's-
want that on my iPod now.
But
I still prefer DDP.
the pipe did.
Oh yeah, of course.
But this match is just
It's a damn good match.
fan-fucking
Damn
phenomenal.
good match.
The protection of the arm versus the offense on the shoulder was just brilliantly done by these two men.
The selling through the entire thing was just... I mean, even Dunn was selling the match from Andrews. Like, he was holding
Yeah,
his ribs
yep.
when he came out from all the spots he took. Oh god, it was just so brilliant.
But I thought I had Bates kind of figured out. He's got the striking. He's got some power moves.
I knew you were
He's
gonna mark.
athletic.
I knew you were gonna mark. So
But
I marked.
he's a good, solid kind of strong style World of Sport type. Then the man does a fucking Fosbury flop over the top rope to the
Which I
outside.
love Cole going, what do you call that, Nigel?
He's like, what the fuck just happened?
The Fosbury flop.
He rolls Dunn back into the ring, goes up top, and does a 450 coup de grace.
Right?
Which, literally, Nigel and Cole were so confused at what happened, they thought he just missed the 450 splash.
Actually, you know what? In all fairness to them, watching it live, the first time, I thought he missed it too.
Yeah, so
Oh,
did
yeah.
I.
It wasn't until the replay I'm like, oh, I see what he fucking did.
And he nailed it. And it's just like, wait, this kid has this too.
Isn't that technically not a 450 and just a 360 stomp then?
Yes.
I guess it would be. Still, the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I knew you would mark.
I marked hard.
Well, one of my favorite spots, though, was when Dunn had the submission locked
Triangle lock.
locked in his arm, and then he did the fucking Reigns thing.
With the
Oh, picture-
bad
yeah.
arm.
That was such a fucking cool spot.
Or when Dunn has the Kimura on, has the double wrist lock, and Bates rears up, moves his arm around, and turns into a fucking brainbuster.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And the best part about that spot is, again, physically that's an impressive
He
move.
stuck him too.
The look on Dunn's face as he's doing and selling the mystery of what the fuck is happening right now is both of these guys are now complete and utter superstars.
Well, and it makes sense these two could work so well together, seeing as, and they said it during the thing, Pete Dunne trained the man.
Yeah.
Still does train the man. I mean, they're part of a stable in Rev Pro.
I'll say those two and Trent said,
It's almost unfair. In fact, it is unfair.
yeah.
To think that fucker is 19 years old.
You can even tell Cole was mad about it the whole time.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking 19-year-old.
This is ridiculous. I mean, and let's not give sell Dunn short. He's only what 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody want to see what the future of pro wrestling is? Here it is.
You know, my favorite thing about Pete Dunne might be the fact that he looks like he came off the set of Ripper Street.
Yeah, a little
It's
bit.
like-
But let's face this: the two best matches you had, the entire weekend,
More Pete Dunne matches.
were Pete Dunne matches. One with a 19-year-old and one with another 24-year-old.
Who had been in captivity for the last 2 years.
So let me get this right: nobody there over 25
Not in that sense.
No.
in that situation, and you've got Seven's a little bit older. He's
35.
He's 35. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an old man at 35.
But a couple of the other guys you had here were not as old. I'm trying to think-
Everyone's young.
Yeah.
Wolfgang was like 29.
Yeah, 29
Yeah,
Wolfgang
but
and
still
29.
not bad. You had a lot of under 30 crowd here. It's like, oh wow, we can
T-Bone was
actually
like the 50-year-old.
we can actually build with some of this.
They made it sound like T-Bone was old.
Yeah.
He's 35. Same age as Prince Edward.
He looked 50, probably from all the drugs that looked like he
Yeah.
did back in the day. But
He's had a hard life. You
Yeah.
can just look at him and tell
But it's
life
like-
has been hard.
This is the future. And
well, this is why you need to strike while the iron's hot and make this a touring show now.
yeah,
I mean, even Joe had the idea. It doesn't necessarily need to be a touring show. You can make it NXT and just have a set house. But
Do you know what I thought? Honestly, I thought when Balor came out, he was going to announce the weekly TV show.
I thought like they dropped hints. Like there was an interview beforehand. They're like, well, this is potentially, hopefully, leading to an hour show. And I was like, wait, he dropped that super casually all of a sudden in an interview. Like, is this gonna be an announcement tonight? And never happened. But
I'm thinking. I'm wondering if they're kind of sitting back and seeing how World of Sport does. Because like you said, the first week wasn't fantastic.
It got great ratings.
Okay.
well, all the reviews
show
coming out
itself.
now is coming out saying this is what World of Sport should be.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you see them continue to,
Instead,
I
World of
think-
Sport looked like a Raw from 99.
Yeah, they will hopefully make this a weekly show because they made Bates the top babyface and Dunn the top heel, and you did that in 48 hours.
yeah,
Less than.
To CWC, which
We're just now fleshing out characters.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple of things here. First, Bates wins. Bate wins. Actually, not Bates. Bate.
Bait.
With the Tyler Driver 97. Beautiful ceremony. Beautiful congratulations afterwards, and
They
selling the shoulder all the way
they
through.
They do have a web.com thing, and all the talent comes out, and besides Dunn, and
Beautiful.
Standing O, and they all take a knee, and let him
Because
talk.
he built his empire.
And they let him talk, and like his mom's in the crowd, and
Yeah.
like, thanks mom,
And continues to show the fact that Triple H understands that having an internet presence is a fucking good thing.
Very true.
I just want to point out that motherfucker was born when I was a senior in high school.
I don't want to talk about how young he is. It hurts me.
I'll say the fact that the Tyler Driver 97 refers to the year he was born and I was in high school. Yes.
He's old. I'm old enough to actually be his father.
Yeah.
congratulations. Can you say he is?
We're officially saying he's your son.
God, if only.
Where was I during senior year? I was in fucking England. I was in Dudley, England, sowing my wild stoned oats.
Gross.
Spraying all over.
Yep, slinging seed all over.
You
What's
get
up?
some, you get a little Corey. You get a little Corey.
At this point, we now have an official UK champion.
Yes.
What
yes.
they end up doing with that, who knows? You have a belt in the States right now of the US title.
No, yes.
Generally a piece of shit right now. You have a belt that's called an Intercontinental title. Never really meant much. It's always only been wrestled in America. They've never really taken that and actually used it around the continents. But you're building things now. There's talks of a South America tournament. There's talks of an Asian tournament, which, oh my god, the war will be on when they take a tournament to Japan.
Go.
Oh, shit.
I don't think it'll work.
No.
It depends on who they throw enough money at to try to poach.
See, in Japan, in Japan culture, honor and your word are very important still.
It is everything.
And, man, it's... They're going to have to go after just, disgruntled guys and aging indie dudes.
The only reason they were able to get Nakamura is because he had done everything in New Japan. There was kind of an understanding there, and it was still insanely difficult for him to do.
I mean, it's kind of like Tozawa. Tozawa... Dragon Gate wasn't going to step in his way because it was always his dream to be in WWE.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's... But it's... I don't know, that's going to be one tough
But I
cookie
mean,
to do
you
right
could
there.
also see, you probably see China first. Because they want to nail that China market.
Plus, all of a sudden, they have 5 Chinese wrestlers in developmental now.
Yeah.
Australia is a market they probably have no problem putting their hooks into.
Does that mean that Ho-Ho Loon has quietly been shown the back door since those other 4
Yeah,
Chinese-
probably. No, what they did was they sucked up to Ho-Ho Loon to get into his goddamn school to
There
actually
you
find talent to steal.
Australia, they can just send fucking Buddy Murphy and Billy Kay and Peyton Royce back. And
TM61.
TM61. Who one of the guys is injured now. That sucks. So they're
Ah,
yeah.
son of a bitch.
And they were supposed to do a storyline with the Revival.
Yep. So now Revival literally has nothing to do.
Send
Besides,
them up.
apparently not get called up. All the rumors is that they're not in the position to get called up right now.
Oh, no, because they want to stay down there and train.
But okay, back to titles.
Yes.
It's time to make... So, you start a UK show. The US title becomes something that can be wrestled on any show. It's the US title. Any show can have a US title match as long as it's in the US. It could be on NXT, it can be on Raw, it can be on SmackDown. The UK title obviously only stays in the UK. The Intercontinental title shows up everywhere. Anywhere can challenge for that. You could have a match in a UK show,
Holy fuck.
an eventual South American show.
Are you suggesting that the Intercontinental Champion become their version of the touring NWA World Champion of the 70s and 80s?
It's what it should be. Sure.
Basically, yes. I think that's what he's bringing up.
Fuck, my nipples are hard.
I hadn't even thought about that. This is brilliant.
But I mean, you got, because they started UK. If the rumor is next is South America,
They're looking, yeah.
so
Now-
then you'll probably get a South American title. I mean, eventually you got to think they're gonna grow some nuts and go after Mexico too and challenge. Start down there.
Knowing them, they would just lump that into the South American.
Maybe even though.
It's not really the same. But
Yeah.
To Vince it is.
But you have such a chance now to make the U.S. title not a worthless piece of shit, and it could actually, in my vision of all this, would become kind of the main NXT title, because the NXT title's kind of served its purpose, and it's kind of an ugly belt anyways.
Yeah.
And you could turn the U.S. title into something. Kind of only have... And this way you only have the 2 main belts on both brands. You can make like a TV title or whatever the fuck you want to do to fill out the titles if you need them. But then, the IC belt becomes something super prestigious. Because you could have guys from UK going, hey Miz, fuck you, come over here and wrestle us.
You go everywhere.
And it would be so much more. And that means the Intercontinental title could be held in any of the territories across the world.
Which also means whoever holds the title can go anywhere.
Can show up, because then
So
you
all
have
of a
people
sudden-
on Raw challenging, hey, at Royal Rumble, show up to fight me for the IC title.
This is a beautiful idea.
Wow, this could really work.
And this will be the beginning of the segment that we call the no-sell branding. Because this isn't like, oh, we didn't like how they worked this one angle. This is something hugely changing you could do that would be very epic.
And I think we've let it off pretty strong here. Good job, Rick.
Because, I mean, it makes the names of your titles actually mean something. The U.S. champion works in the U.S. That belt should be for all... Because then you just have the Raw heavyweight and the SmackDown heavyweight titles.
And that goes to a bigger topic. I love your idea. And I think they need to get back. I hate the theory that belts are just a props. They don't mean anything. They're just a prop. Bullshit.
Yeah.
The reason I say bullshit is look at boxing, UFC. The belts are treated with respect. You don't need fucking storylines. They headline fucking shows. Well,
I mean,
UFC a little bit with the
Boxing, they have 8
Well,
billion.
yeah, there's too many. I'm not getting to that. When one guy is like the featherweight, flyweight, bantamweight, jack-off weight, voodoo donut weight, fucking boxing champion.
I think I control that voodoo donut. weight.
Yeah, you are the voodoo donut champion.
UFC, like, their entire thing is built around their belts.
Exactly.
And it works.
You know what they also have? Kind of a ranking system. And we were talking about this, we were watching like old 80s WCW. And they had a fucking top 10.
I love it.
Where you as you won and lost, you worked your way up the rankings to get to the number 1 contender
You know
position.
who does that now?
Who's that?
Evolve.
And does it work?
It works.
It's brilliant.
You mean
Guy-
Daniel Bryan just doesn't randomly give people title shots whoever he feels like it?
No,
No.
you fucking have to earn it.
You go on a winning streak, and let's say they do 2 shows per weekend. All of a sudden, you win both matches that weekend. You just say you were number 6 in the rankings. You win both matches that weekend. The next month when they receive all shows, you're up to like number 3 or so, and all of a sudden you're knocking on the door of a title shot. And those guys who were number 1 and 2, they're getting the title shots. They don't win. Guess what? You continue to win this weekend. Boom! You're gonna get that shot the next weekend.
Or you win over one of those guys that's in a higher
Yes.
position.
Yes.
That rich you right up the rankings.
And also, you know what they do? When a guy comes in or challenges the champ on shows when he's not booked, it's not a title match. That's non-title.
Yeah.
Because you have to earn your way into the top 10.
Which is kind of what you feel like on 205 Live. Like, that's how they booked it. Like, Neville just didn't get a title shot because he was a huge douchebag. He beat Swan, started beating other people, and now he gets a title shot.
But couldn't that be something that helps that show? Have kind of a, these are the rankings this week, much like you do with college sports.
Or
you have
205
your
Live only
rankings.
has like 10 people on the thing right
But
now.
it would be... I mean, 205 Live should be that type of tester show. I mean, it'd be a great way to do it.
I think it would be a good way just to see how, if that gets over.
WWE is geniuses. They've found out a way to be their own competition 15 years after they bought WWE. Like, oh, you guys think that indie craze is great? We'll sign every indie guy for NXT. It's now your indie group. Oh, you guys love them UK graps? We have a UK tournament. Now we have that.
But they're also doing it in a way where they're not completely destroying things like Evolve and Rev Pro. Like, they're half working with them.
Yes, they're working with some groups, and that's smart. And good for those groups to go along with it
'Cause
for as
essentially-
long as it can, because it will sour. WWE will fuck them over eventually.
Yeah.
Mark my word, they will.
They
do it.
will.
But I mean, it's almost like they're turning NXT is AAA, and then they make like Evolve and Rev Pro what they kind of are already, and being like the AA, test people out and let people learn how to wrestle type thing. Which the UK tournament just was so expansive and so brilliant that they can do so much with.
So again, last question for you guys for the UK thing, being that I was the one that was familiar with at least most of the workers. overall impressed? Like,
Oh, yeah.
did it open your eyes like, whoa?
Oh, yeah.
some fucking working talented fuckers.
Oh
here.
yeah, I want to see more.
It's almost like I want my Thursdays, Fridays, or Saturdays to be filled with an hour and a half slot every single week.
See,
But I'll say it's definitely one where I think it's going to open a lot of eyes and hopefully get some of these smaller companies right now some more views when it comes to Rev Pro and Progress and ICW, and that's going to help them in the short term for sure. Again, the long term, it's going to always be WWE wins.
Yeah, I just want to say that this UK tournament was 10 times better than CWC because of the fact that it was live and it was 2 days, and CWC was 3 months and they filmed one night live, and that was the finals.
Yeah.
The finals.
Oh no, this setup worked much better than the CWC did.
And for CWC, it was hard to, not stay away from spoilers because they could pop up on social media, on any of the sheets.
I did
No,
pretty
I
well
think
with
it's
it,
true.
but yeah.
Yeah,
And
but it's just one of those things. If you're on Reddit or something, you click on the
Yeah,
wrong thing, and
yeah.
then here's
Yeah.
what happened.
Also, I mean, they did do, and I mean, this is just they learned from it. Like this isn't like they just decided they learned from doing the CWC of how to do it differently.
But what they did is they decided to learn,
Yeah, and they
not just continuously do the same thing over
It's
and over
still
again.
just so crazy to see what Triple H was as a wrestler, and see him what he is as a booker and as an executive. It's so hard to contemplate who this man was.
And who he is now.
The Barry and now he just puts over Pete Dunne by going, "You made a name for yourself." Mm-hmm. Like actually showing like he appreciated what he just did. That's a huge fucking rub for a dude who's one not a guaranteed worker for WWE for the rest of his life. Like.
Oh, and not to mention afterwards going on Twitter and basically putting out a tweet about Pete Dunne being the man. So, it's been amazing to see him turn around. But again, he's always been smart about the business. His ego got in the way a couple times, but he's always been smart about
couple times.
But I mean, and some of that comes back to the point of you should only let the wrestlers control the booking to a certain degree. You can let them control their characters, but you can't let them make decisions of who's going over all the time.
So you're saying it's potentially bad that Christopher Daniels, who is the booker for Ring of Honor, is in the main event world title match at the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Is he?
See, that could be bad.
But also, Christopher Daniels is fucking really good.
I will say for them and him in this one instance, it makes sense because they just lost the one world champ. The champ he's taking on's contract ends like the month after that. It's almost like, well, fuck, we might have to put the belt on me just because I'm not fucking going anywhere.
Basically, he's Triple H of last year.
Yeah.
I would say he's Jerry Lawler of the 80s. We won't put the belt on Lawler because he's not going to leave his own fucking territory.
So freaking right.
People are jumping off that. And Ring of Honor's doing okay business, but people are jumping off in record. I mean, it's just WWE's throwing money at him. It's like, here you go. They've got it out for Ring of Honor. They couldn't give a fuck about TNA, but for some reason, they've got it for ROH.
I'll say it's a question. How long do you think it's going to be until ROH loses that friendship with AAA in New Japan? Or CMLL, sorry, in New Japan.
Well, if those G1 specials, they're no longer G1 shows,
Specials.
but the G1 specials in America do well on their own, then I could see.
Probably pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting to look forward to down the road. But as for this week, we're going to bring this one to a close. Because Joe wanted to get his own loop fix in.
So there's no way the third week of January can match the first two, right? Like we're gonna have our final
going
step
on?
down.
I mean,
Fantastica Mania is this upcoming weekend for you on New Japan World, and there's the Friday night show is one you want to watch.
I will be checking that out. That's not the one that's blocked in America, right?
No.
Because there was one they were doing that was blocked in America.
Yeah.
That was I think that was just a CMLL show.
Yeah.
But I will be watching that this weekend.
It's got Hiromu Takahashi and Dragon Lee again.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
okay.
watch.
I will be watching that for sure.
So we have 2 weeks till Rumble at this
2
point?
weeks until I have a very busy weekend on the Rumble weekend.
What else happens
Because
Rumble?
I have 2 Evolve shows
Ah.
and Royal Rumble
And the NXT TakeOver.
and NXT TakeOver.
So
Speaking of which, though, is that if WWE keeps expanding the way they are, WrestleMania is no longer WrestleMania Sunday. It's literally going to become WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to have a literal entire pre-show on Saturday to fit everyone in.
I basically...
Phrasing.
The Hall of Fame is now moved back to Thursday.
Real phrase?
Just to fit all the guys into the pre-show. But, as for this week in No Cell, we continue the busy time on the Monday Night War Stories. As the pay-per-view War Stories goes to SummerSlam 96.
Goes to the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, that's a fun one. And then, coming off of that, Monday Night War Stories, we at least have a new town this week for WWE.
The
Wheeling,
we're live.
West Virginia.
Shit. And, of course, we ever march forward towards Fall Brawl 96.
Huge development on Nitro this week. Worth watching.
So, look forward to that.
I've watched half of it so far.
And then, Joe the Q this week.
Oh my god, what are you doing this week?
This is
We're
a
doing a
personal
great
event.
movie. We're doing a great one. Last week, if you haven't listened to Samurai Cop, go ahead. You need to watch Samurai Cop if you want. Because it's like, gun shootout, gun shootout, gun shootout. Sex scene. Like, out of nowhere.
literally,
It's an RKO.
Like in the middle?
No,
Like,
no.
RKO out of nowhere of
It's
a
like-
naked redhead chick.
Here's the scene. It's boom, fire. And he goes, like takes a deep breath because he just killed the guy.
Yeah.
And then chick taking her clothes off, like legit, out of nowhere.
No, there's no hyperbole there. That's literally what
It
happened.
changes it when it's penetration out of nowhere.
There's a couple of times he gets
Little
close.
rapey.
Jeff thought he saw lip. But for this week, we're doing a fantastic movie. This week we are doing Godzilla.
Which one?
Which one do you
What
think?
we're doing?
I would hope you're doing the 1998 one.
We are doing the
We are doing the
1998 one.
1998
Matthew Broderick one.
And you know, I'm a kaiju fan.
Oh yeah.
You know, then this movie irks me to no end.
This movie blew chunks.
And they ruined Kashmir.
Thank you. I was just about to mention my biggest fault of this fucking movie is they prostituted Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. I have not forgiven Puff Daddy or this fucking movie yet.
Nor should you. And
Come with me.
So you guys have a problem with Godzilla being a hermaphrodite?
Nah, I'm cool with that. Whatever.
Okay,
Like it's.
Godzilla can be whatever Godzilla wants to be.
Who am I to tell Godzilla what they can or can't be?
Did you just assume Godzilla's gender?
I said they.
Oh,
Hey,
very
I
well
censored
done.
he is the master. Of course, you can hear more about this on our Twitter account at NoCellENT. We're also on Instagram at NoCellENT, Facebook.com/NoCellEntertainment, Snapchat NoCellPodcast, NoCellPodcast at gmail.com, NoCellPodcast at gmail.com. You can also follow us individually on the Twitters. Ricky?
At NSC_Richard. But don't follow me. I hate all of you.
The Obi-Wan of Flamin' Yon, the Sheep Machine Joseph Lessel.
At Sheen Machine 23.
Purple Peanut Butter.
I prefer to be the guy that trained Pete Dunne on his friendship skills
Oh, yeah.
and overall charming personality traits.
You did a terrible job. Or a great job, I guess.
Should have
depending on the way
seen
you
him
went with it.
before.
Oh, Jesus.
That kayfabe guy.
We should probably also say at Producer's End,
Yeah.
because the WWE freaking retweets her.
She had about 1,700 little interactions with her little tweet she did today.
The fuck?
Speaking of producers and big time, man, I came in the door and she fucking cocked me like Pete Dunne.
She was all over the Dunn.
Well,
so
you
she
were
had
late
to.
by like a minute, so you know,
Yeah.
she's very,
Yeah, very,
very much
quick
about the
process.
schedule.
And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at the MacTHEMAACK, because I am the burger weight. Not the bruiser weight.
Oh, I get it.
Right.
I like that actually. It took a second.
Wasn't Cheeseburger like 45 pounds?
Yes.
I love cheeseburger.
But it took me a second, but I got that. I like that. The
Let's say
burger
we're gonna create a tag team between me and Cheeseburger.
No.
We're gonna take over ROH's tag team division.
That sounds about as good as Cheeseburger is.
Super
so
size?
Yeah.
Team Super Size?
Team Supersize. And with that being said,
Could be worse. You could be that team of There's just 2 Georgia independent guys that are like really obesely overweight. Team Diabetes.
Oh, Jesus.
No, the best part is our theme song is actually going to be "Do the Milkshake" from
God.
Can't Stop the Music. With that being said, for producer's Ed,
See, he's still talking about Can't Stop the Music.
I know he loves it.
just never goes away. They won't let me get away from it.
That Dr. Pepper sip gets you every time.
Every
or
time.
the erect boners, but who knows?
Only the erect boners.
Joe has watched that scene 800 times now.
Erect,
It's counted.
soapy boners,
boners.
get Joe every time.
For the Savior Richard Marticelli, for the She Machine Joseph Lessel, for the Human Wrestling Database Corey Mack,
For 800 soapy boners.
Ew.
and for the great wrestling fans of the United Kingdom, I am the Onitoshi Jeff Mack. Good night.